Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Uncle Matt's cookery lessons. I'm going to be making a Queso Fresco, which is cheese. I'm going to be making some cheese, and it's Mexican.
Alright.
Hello, I'm making some cheese, Queso Fresco, and this is part of a collaboration with a YouTube mate of mine, Chef Jeff. I will be recreating his dish that he did a little while ago, and he's doing my fish and chip video from a while back. And yeah, we're going to help promote each other because it's nice to be nice, I think. YouTube is one of these places where we can reach out to other YouTubers, other content creators, and we're all struggling to try to move up and move on and become the next Binging with Babish. So let's see if me and Chef Jeff can give Babish a run for his money. All right then, nice big pot, big enough to fit in a whole 2 litres of milk. If you want to scale down the recipe, you'll find that recipe in the description. Always go and have a look in the description, please. Put on the heat, but then turn it down nice and low, sort of medium low-ish. We do not want to rush this, okay? Now this is based on Chef Jeff's video. We have a 2-stage temperature we're looking for. So I've put the metric and the imperial there for you. My thermometer is on metric. So once we get to around about 77 degrees, 170 Fahrenheit, we add the lime juice. Now, the recipe calls for 1 lime. I had a couple of small ones, but that was a bit too much, so I didn't put all of it in. Okay, and then a slotted spoon is required. And just sort of gradually move it around a bit, and you can sort of see it's already sort of splitting. Anything else you're making, you'd have gone wrong, but this is right in this case. So then that's the next temperature. Once you reach that temperature, 87 degrees centigrade, 190 Fahrenheit, turn off the heat, add in your vinegar, and then sort of stir it around for a few minutes like that. And you can see straight away, look at that split. Ugh, it looks horrible. But that's what we want. That's curds and whey. I know. And here we go. So that's been left to stand for 15 minutes or so, to I suppose to just let those curds and whey really separate. And then it's going in through a bit of cheesecloth, which I've doubled over. And ooh, Chef Jeff had some of those bulldog clips in his. He's a lot more fancy than me. I didn't have any of that, so I've just sort of risked it. I've got my conical strainer there. A colander would do, a sieve, you know. And I couldn't fit it all in one go. I had to let some of it go through, but I got all of it in eventually. And now what I'm going to do is pick that up while it's still a bit warm, give it a little bit of a squeeze. But you haven't got to worry about this too much. You could just sort of leave that hanging somewhere for a couple of hours, and you know, a lot of that whey will fall out. But I'm doing mine for about an hour or so, but I'll give it a squeeze every now and again to help encourage some of that whey to get out. And I changed it into a bowl because you can see a little bit in the pan there. It's a bit deep, so it was actually sort of touching the bottom of the little pouch of cheese. So whilst that is draining, let's get some flavours going. So I'm replicating the flavours that Chef Jeff did. I think they're great. Obviously, you probably would just do one flavour, you know, maybe one of these or something else that you fancy. I don't think there's any rules. Now, that was supposed to be coriander or cilantro, as you might call it, but that's banned in this house because it's revolting, apparently. So I used some parsley. That was some basil for another one. That's some garlic, which I decided to crush. A little bit of salt there to help it do that. I didn't bother using my garlic crusher this time. Sometimes I just don't fancy it. There you go. It's quite an easy technique. Scrape it with the salt. That's done. These are some semi-dried tomatoes. I didn't make these ones, but I did a video for that recently. And that is some nice juicy pickled jalapeno peppers, I think. I think that's jalapeno. I'm not very good on chilies. So anyway, while I was doing that, this is about an hour later. And you can see it's really nice and firm. We've made cheese, and I just sort of spend a minute to get those other bits out from the cloth, and I'm going to wash that cloth and use it again. Don't have to throw that away. This is an essential stage with a fork and adding the salt. And you're going to work this with the fork for a good 5 minutes or more. And it's going to be sort of get smoother and become creamy. Well, that's the purpose of this bit. When I had my practice run, I didn't use a fork. I used my hand and squished it, and it was all right too. But, you know, I wanted to make the video true to Chef Jeff's version. So there we go. When you can see it's creamy now. There you go. We've made some creamy cheese. It's time for me to put the flavours in. So because I've got 3 different flavours, I took out 2/3 and left 1/3 in there. And let's go with a muy caliente. And I think that's the best of my pronunciation so far. So in with the chili, the pretend cilantro, coriander, the garlic. And give that a nice combine. Give that a good mix, like so. Now you're going to see me do the other flavours in a minute. So while you see me doing that, adding certain flavours, about Chef Jeff. So his channel is very new. Up until, you know, whatever, COVID hit everyone around the world simultaneously at the same time. My God. He was working in a brew pub called Bar Hop Brew Company. Now, Jeff spent about 20 plus years in restaurants and bars, and he describes his cooking style as anything he can include cooking with booze, which I think is an absolutely fantastic philosophy. I really like that. I mean, I like to drink as much booze as well sometimes, but, you know, that's bad for you. Anyway, waffle. So, yeah, Jeff and his wife decided, let's set up a YouTube channel, and it's brilliant. I think it's really, really good, and I can see the progress as well. And he reached out to me a little while ago for some advice, you know, from me, and for what I could do. I gave him some advice, but I think now he's giving me advice. So I look forward to chasing him, because he's going to go past me, I imagine, sometime soon. But anyway, there you go. See me finishing off those cheeses. What I did, I cling filmed some ramekins to sort of, so that I knew the cling film would make sure that it comes out afterwards. But, you know, you might not need to do that. It might come out all by itself, but I thought, there's, you know, let's make sure. So there we go. I've got my 3 flavoured cheese. I've got my rosemary and honey. I've got my sun-dried tomato. That's the sun-dried tomato and basil on there. That's the rosemary. And that is the muy caliente. It sounds better every time I say it. Si, senor. And there we go. Look at that. It's beautiful. Those 3 lovely cheeses. So obviously, Queso Fresco comes from Spain originally, but it's very, very popular in Mexico. And here we go. That is, not showing off here, but that's another one of my sourdoughs. This coming along quite nicely. I thought, well, let's char grill some, a sort of crostini style. So a nice hot char grill there. Yeah, a bit of olive oil on the bread. Oh. You want that, don't you? And look, we're growing tomatoes in the garden. That's my lady. She's grown tomatoes. We're very proud of her. Anyway, I'm going to hand you back over to me for the tasting. Right then, time to taste these cheeses. So this is a day later. As Jeff quite often says in his videos, we're now a day in the future. Now, Jeff, the next time you go to the future, can you please check the lottery numbers for me? Right then, let's try some cheese, shall we? Where do I start? So this is rosemary and honey. Let's have a go. So the texture, very nice. Spreadable. And I think that's crying out for a little bit. Maybe fig chutney. Fig chutney, recent video. Please go and check that one out. It's superb. Okay. A little bit more without the chutney. So if you like cream cheeses, if you like ricotta, this is definitely going to be for you. You know, if you're a Stilton guy, you know, Roquefort, you know, really punchy ones, don't expect that. This is a fresh cheese. It's very, very delicate in flavour. Okay. How do I say this one? Muy caliente. Very hot, apparently. Let's see. Well, it depends on how much chili you put in, doesn't it? But let's have a go. Probably not that hot. Oh yeah. Really, really like that. I love chili. Oh my god, that's great. Let's try the basil, sun-dried tomato. So obviously it wants to fall apart a bit more because it's just got more stuff in it. but it doesn't matter. Get in there. I'm not just saying this because of the video. Those are great. Really, really lovely. So, another one, tick off the list, made some cheese. Never done that before. Please go and check out Chef Jeff. New channel, developing but growing very, very quickly. Really, really good channel. And it's amazing what people can do when presented with difficult times. So somebody like Jeff and his wife, okay, what are we going to do? Right, we can't work. Right, let's crack on. Let's start a YouTube channel. I love that. Anyway, so I won't waffle on and wax lyrical anymore about that. I hope you go over and check the channel out. I hope you give making Queso Fresco a go. And I'll catch you in the next video coming really soon. Bye. Chili. Damn.